Get a little exercise in. I got interrupted. Some news broke. Charles Oliveira got hurt. We're told suffered a minor injury. Quite frankly, we really aren't owed an explanation. I mean, we're really not. Guys that put out their injury reports, I never know why. There's no way to win. I mean, there's no right answer, right? It's a minor injury. If it's a minor injury, why are we even talking about it? Why did you even bring it up if it's minor? It's going to delay business, rankings, a number one contenders match, interrupt a co-main event, interrupt a card that's completely sold out, has a live gate box office north of $2 million, and it's a minor injury. Boy, that little minor injury sure has some big consequences. I mean, I'm just bringing to your attention. Don't ever tell somebody. Whatever your weakness is in life, whatever it is, don't tell people. I'd encourage you that same thing on your strengths. Like whatever your biggest goal in life is, I would encourage you, don't tell people. So I don't want to do too much of a diatribe on that. I just don't understand why they would put out that it was a minor injury. I just don't understand that. Let's move on. Because as of right now, within the same article that I read, is stating that the promotion, being the Ultimate Fighting Championship, is looking to reschedule that match at a later date. Why bother? Now, I just want to know what you guys think here. That's a great fight that we all want to see. But that fight needs to be done because you now have meaningful contenders. Dariush and Oliveira studs, very meaningful contenders. But you have them going to work before the champion goes to work. Okay? You're a prize fighter. So Makhachev, who's done everything right, takes on an undefeated guy, beats him, goes out to Perth, which is gross, wins an exciting match that we're told is a top 5 box office ever. Sounds like you did a good job. When a guy does a good job, you don't reward him by making him the odd man out that didn't have a dance partner. That's the guy that you get working first. It's very relevant because Benny had the qualifications on his 7-fight streak. It might even be, I think he's at 8. He's won so damn many fights, I've lost track. I think it's 8 in a row. Benny has the qualifications to do the match right now. Oliveira, as a former champion, has the qualifications to do the match right now. So why do we gotta wait till somebody with a minor injury feels okay and can get on with it when all that match is going to do is produce a number one contender to find an opponent for the guy who is the last one in the entire equation that should be without an opponent? So, look, I'm never going to get my way. And I would never give Oliveira a hard time, or anybody else that's hurt, for that matter. Never kick a man when he's down. The guy's hurt, of course we wish him well. Of course we do. Of course we help him up, of course. At the same time, and simultaneously, I wish we had a forfeiture clause in this sport. Now, you can't run a business that way, right? You can't sell pay-per-views with forfeiture. So it's kind of more of an ideology than an actual practice. But I grew up in wrestling. We had dual meets. We set the schedule ahead of time, months and months. Before the season ever kicked off, we had the schedule set. And we held those matches according to the schedule. We didn't change them for anything. If you had a guy who couldn't step out for any minor injury, we don't need to know what the reason is. You're tough enough to do it or you're not. That's it. You peaked and performed, and your body and your mind can meet the schedule or it can't. And we got on with it. And we had a forfeiture clause. One guy would walk out there. He'd have his little singlet on with his little headgear on. They'd raise his hand. They'd give the team a bunch of points. He'd walk away. They'd bring the next one out. I don't propose for you that Benny we need to play his music and he walks out and Bruce Buffer introduces him and Dan Mergliotti raises his hand. But I do propose for you, if these boys were going to fight for number one contendership, I mean, it's the biggest part about this sport, but it's always the part that's left out. This This sport has never been about who's the best, whose skills, who sacrificed the most. It never. No sport is. It is always about the sacrifice, the hard work, and the skills on this specific agreed upon time, at this specific agreed upon weight class, in a specific agreed upon location. If you can't make it, if you're signifying to the world, I can't beat that man. Not only can I not beat him, I can't even go out and try. We have the answer that we were looking for. We now have the answer. So as far as rescheduling it, I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you reschedule it, or do we now have the answer that we were looking for? Beneil Dariush is now the number one contender. Beneil Dariush is going to do what he agreed to do, what he was told to do, and what we were all told he was going to do well over a year and a half ago, which is to fight Islam Makhachev. It just so happens it's also going to be for the world championship. Does anybody disagree?